Greater Manchester's Cold Case Review Unit is continuing to investigate two unsolved murders of sex workers. The first case was in 1988. The body of Linda Donaldson was found.
He used to walk around with a leather cross around his neck. The rumour was it that he was sort of a pedophile. He was never convicted of it.
Yeah.
But he was weird, and he always built dolls' houses to give to kids. And
I don't understand. Check the other rooms. Make sure there's nobody here at all. You guys, I'm actually slightly concerned that the house was in the process of being robbed when we entered it. I clear as crystal heard footsteps. I don't know what to say about this, but there's something powerful connected to this dollhouse. Do you guys believe in haunted dolls? Do you believe that certain toys or objects could hold a spiritual attachment? Tonight, me and Olivia are going to be doing something a little bit different. We've been invited to a home where the resident believes that there is some kind of haunting happening within his home, all brought upon by this object here. They tell me ever since they purchased this vintage dollhouse, things in their house just haven't been quite right, leading them to believe that this particular dollhouse might actually be cursed or haunted. They've told me about objects in their house going missing, hearing footsteps in the middle of the night, as well as finding the dolls within this house moved when they wake up in the morning. The thing is, we are not currently in that residence at the moment. Because of their fear of this dollhouse, they've opted to actually have it stay at a relative of theirs. But tonight, we are actually going to be taking the dolls back to the house where they're experiencing the activity, the house that they want nothing to do with on this, and see what exactly happens when left alone with this house. Tonight, we're going to try and figure out why this miniature haunted house is giving so much paranormal activity, and try and figure out why exactly this house is cursed. You know, thinking about it, like, I'm preparing for tonight. I've been thinking about this dollhouse a lot. You know what this situation kind of reminds me of? Now, this might sound silly, but if you ever watched the old Pokemon cartoon series, right? There was this gym leader, Sabrina. She was a psychic gym leader. Basically, she took people's souls and put them in dolls. Like, put their souls in dolls and kept them in her own private dollhouse, basically to do, well, play with them, do whatever she wanted with them. These people had no way of actually moving, but they could communicate psychically with other people. It's just giving me some vibes like that. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to see what's up. Alright, so I'm sitting here, we're having a chat with the person in charge of holding onto the house. Apparently, the man who made it, he was a carpenter his whole life. He eventually had a stroke, and he started building dollhouses, Victorian girls' dollhouses, just to pass the time. Well, she was saying that he went a little bit mad. He's not around anymore, but apparently he went a little bit mad, and he was just obsessed with building dollhouses. What this might have to do with the haunting, I'm not entirely sure. But that's a little bit of backstory behind where the dollhouse came from. So before we go into the house, I'm actually with someone who has heard all kinds of stories about this person who built the dollhouse. What was it you were saying? What? Go on.
He was the weirdo in the street that used to walk around with a leather cross around his neck. And the rumour was it that he was sort of a paedophile. Children were allowed to walk past his house.
But he
was never convicted of it.
Yeah.
But he was weird, and he always built dolls' houses to give to kids and things like that.
That's pretty messed up.
And he suffered a stroke.
Okay.
And then turned to God even more and just went a bit loopy.
So that's straight from people who've experienced this person himself, so this should be quite interesting. That's a little more backstory for you on the story of this dollhouse. I'm quite looking forward to going in there and seeing what exactly is up with this dollhouse. Alright, so we just got to the house, now approaching it. They've already moved the dollhouse inside, so I'm not entirely sure what to expect, but here goes something. Alright, so they've put the dollhouse back into the house for us for the night. This is it. Eerie looking, isn't it? Let me just shine a torch on this. Alright, how do you think we should start? Maybe EVP? Yeah. Alright guys, we're gonna go ahead and start off the night with an EVP. See if we can hear any disembodied voices maybe coming from this. In fact, I'll even just set that down right there. If there's someone in the dollhouse, could you try to speak into it, scream into it? Are you trapped in the dollhouse? Do you follow this dollhouse around? Is it true that you like to walk around the house? What the hell? We're home alone. What the hell? Hello? Hello? Did you hear that? There's no chance that would have been the neighbors coming over, like, coming from this side, is it? Oh my god. Alright, I guess we gotta check that there's nobody here. Came from here. Hello? What is all this stuff? Crazy ass map and everything? Anybody in there?
TV said like it just turned on, but it didn't. It made a weird static sound.
Babe, that was the alarm. That was the sensor for the door. No way. There's no way in hell. No, the door's shut. The door's shut. Why'd the sensor go off? Okay. You guys, if you open the front door, right? It makes that noise. There's also a motion sensor up there. The back door's open. The back door's open. Hello? I honestly have no words to explain this. The back door is wide open. Hold on. Hold on. And that's capable of setting off the sensor. Unless there was just somebody in the house with us who just made an escape out the back door. That is really weird. Right, so I'm reviewing this footage real time, and part of me is still in disbelief at everything that's happened here. But one thing that really gets me, even though I thought that there was a good chance we could have been robbed, I'm watching and remembering that there are chairs in front of that door. There's no way anyone could have fit through that door or escaped through that door without either moving the chairs or tripping over them. But what really gets me, and what really sealed the deal that this is probably, more than likely, paranormal, is what we capture next. You guys, I'm actually slightly concerned that the house was in the process of being robbed when we entered it, because that makes no sense. I clear as crystal heard footsteps. The digital recorder's still playing. I'm going to listen back. I'm going to listen back to that and see what that was all about. Unless this house was being robbed and they ran down and out the back door, I can't explain what that was. That was so clear. Okay, we're sitting here now with the digital recorder. Currently, I'm not actually really comfortable being here anymore. I'm not gonna lie. I actually am worried that we just walked into a robbery of this house or something. Like, that makes absolutely zero sense to me, what just happened. We had the alarm on the door sound. The back door was open, and we clearly heard what sounded like footsteps and movement up above us. Now, if I were to try and debunk that, I would say perhaps we could hear the neighbors next door, and that was them, you know? But as far as the door opening right after that's happened, I don't know. So we're going to listen back to the recording real quick and see if that was... I don't even know what to say. We're going to just see what we caught.
Is it true that you like to walk around the house?
Let's fast forward a bit and find out what exactly happened here, though. What? This is all while we're upstairs. Listen. I can't understand a word it's saying right now. What the hell? It's just non-stop talking. I've never heard anything like this in all the years I've done this. And it's getting louder. Listen, listen, listen. What? Listen to that. What do you think? What does that say? Listen. What are you thinking?
Yeah.
What are you thinking? Listen, it's so clear.
What were you thinking?
What were you thinking? I actually have chills. I actually have chills. Listen to that. Oh my God, listen to that. That's the door opening. And that's us coming downstairs. What? Okay, let me just try and wrap my head around this one, okay, guys? So we got in the house, we started doing an EVP. We're by ourselves here in the house. It's just me and Olivia. The owners aren't here. We were calling out, and then there were like footsteps, and like something like a door moved upstairs or like shut, it sounded like. You can clearly hear through the entire recording something just talking, and it's clearly EVP, and it's just talking. And then at one point it yells at us, "What were you thinking?" Then the door opened, the back door opened, and we heard that. We could hear the door opening. And even while doing the EVP, there was a knock in the kitchen. This has got to be a prank. There's no way this is actually happening right now. Because now I don't think we were being robbed. After hearing all that, it doesn't actually seem like we were being robbed. At this point, I don't actually believe the house was being robbed. Based on everything I heard in this recorder, that was just too much. We're just gonna stay here, sat on the couch, and do an EVP, and just let whatever happens. I kind of feel like I'm dreaming right now. Like, this is really weird. Hello? Did you open the doors? Is this doll house really cursed?
Did you open the doors? Is this dollhouse really cursed?
What? What the hell was all that about? That only happens with a super high rush of EMF. When I asked, is the dollhouse really cursed? Listen.
Is this dollhouse really cursed?
Obviously, you guys couldn't, none of us heard that live. I'm actually shaking right now. I'm actually really nervous about this. What the hell are you? What the hell are you? I have not encountered something so dark in a very, very, very long time. Is it really the dollhouse? Or is the house just haunted in general? What is going on? The people that own the house told me that they only experienced the haunting after they got this dollhouse. I'm afraid to offend it at this point, honestly. Olivia,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to regroup and figure out what our next plan of action is, because this is just a lot to take in at the moment. Okay, so we've been in contact with the people that own the dollhouse. Apparently, and this is going to get really weird, that guy that we were talking about earlier, basically the weirdo, apparently a lot of the locals knew him or called him Dr. Death, basically because he had the appearance of a local serial killer. Interestingly enough, though, he lived obviously in this area, there is a creek backside of this house, behind the fence, right? Where apparently a couple mutilated bodies had turned up 20 years ago. Okay? So this guy was basically a weirdo who went loopy and started making dollhouses for little girls around the same time that girls' bodies were being killed and being found in the creek. And we're literally standing here with one of his dolls, like dollhouses. I actually had no clue how deep this story got until now. And it's starting to make sense. This is weird. I'm curious if either he's attached to this particular dollhouse. I'm curious if maybe people he killed are attached to the dollhouse. I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue. But apparently this is Dr. Death's dollhouse. Alright, so we're going to attempt to communicate via instrumental transcommunication, ITC spirit box, basically. This is not your house. You can't be acting like this. How do you feel when I tell you this is not your house? Can you just call me an ass?
I don't know.
It sounded like it. What did you just say to me?
You also, yeah.
It just called me an ass. This, everybody. I don't know what to say about this, but there is something powerful connected to this dollhouse. I am so intrigued by this. I really wish it was mine now. Can you make these dolls move? I hear you can make the dolls move. Can you make these dolls move? Come on, do something. You were quite active a minute ago. You have been all night. Alright guys, seeing as how this night has been absolutely insane so far, and none of us really actually want to sleep in the house at this point, so we're going to go ahead, leave a night vision camera filming the house. We were told that during the night after they go to bed, they'd wake up in the morning and the dolls would be in a new position. So we're actually going to go ahead and see if this happens and if we can capture this on camera. We'll be back in the morning to check the footage. Alright, so here goes something. With any luck, we'll catch something amazing on camera. Alright, hun, let's go. Now this, my friends, is the piece de la resistance. That is, if it's paranormal at all. The problem is, I wasn't there. So the fact of the matter is, I don't know if the house shifted. To be fair, these dolls, they do stand up, and it did stay up for hours. But the fact of the matter is, they don't stay up very well, and a slight knock or push could cause them to tip over, right? So I'm up in the air with this one. I'm up in the air. I don't know. It's very likely that a house could have shifted. It is a detached house, so what is it called? Semi-detached. So that means if somebody bangs on a wall, you never know. You never know. It could have caused it to fall over. But if that wasn't the cause, then we just caught paranormal gold, my friends. You let me know what you think.